Welcome, gentlemen, to the deep dive. And look, a very specific welcome if you're a man over 60 joining us today. Many of us, well, we start noticing a shift, don't we? How we feel in the mornings. Maybe a familiar weakness, perhaps a lack of drive that wasn't there before, or just, things feeling a bit softer. It's really easy to just chalk it up to, oh, well, that's just getting older. But what if, and this is what we're digging into, what if those morning struggles aren't inevitable? What if they're actually tied to something as simple as drinking the wrong thing before you hit the hay? Imagine this, waking up feeling strong again, clear-headed, ready to perform like you remember. All from, believe it or not, a specific simple glass you have the night before. Sounds pretty compelling, doesn't it? We're about to take a real deep dive into some practical truths here.
It really is compelling. And it's a paradox I've seen again and again over, well, 3 decades now as a urologist and men's health specialist. So many men, they look for really complex fixes, expensive pills, supplements, sometimes even hormone therapies, when often the answer might actually be natural, quite safe, and literally waiting in your own kitchen, something that fuels your body while you sleep. It's often these small, consistent changes, like having a specific drink each night, that can genuinely bring back that vitality, that feeling from earlier years.
That's a really powerful way to frame it because, let's be honest, there's so much noise out there, isn't there? Everyone claiming they've got the miracle fix. How do we cut through that? How do we figure out what's actually effective, especially for you listening, without just adding more confusion? So our mission today is exactly that, cut through the noise. This deep dive is going to reveal precisely what you might want to drink before bed if you're over 60. And you're looking for, better morning energy, sharper focus, maybe just a firmer sense of confidence. We'll cover the crucial time, and that's really important, some cautions to keep in mind, and we'll share some pretty transformative success stories too. Our goal here is just practical, easy to understand value you can actually use, maybe even starting tonight. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. You've seen countless men in your practice. What is really happening, biologically speaking, for men over 60? Why do mornings start to feel so different, sometimes like a real fight?
Well, it's a transformation, all right. But it's often silent, yet really significant. See, after age 60, testosterone, that key hormone for strength, stamina, uh, overall vigor, it tends to decline, roughly 1% each year. And this isn't just about the calendar pages turning. It's about what
Hmm.
time quietly, diminishes. You might start noticing things like lower energy, right? Mornings feeling less sharp, maybe a fading drive, muscles not quite responding like they used to, even sleep that doesn't feel refreshing. And yes, sometimes decreased performance in the bedroom too. I've had many proud men sit in my office, veterans, business owners, fathers, expressing real worry, wondering, are their best years truly gone? But here's the critical part, the real insight. That decline is not destiny. It really isn't. The mistake is thinking that weakness or fatigue or poor performance is just the unavoidable price tag of aging. It's not. Your body still has immense power to thrive. It just needs the right fuel, some target support, and critically, the right habits established at night.
Yeah, that really makes you think. I mean, when we were younger, our bodies could take a beating, couldn't they? Late nights, maybe not the best food, and we'd still bounce back pretty quickly. But after 60, it feels like every choice carries more weight. Your body's just less forgiving. So going to bed dehydrated or stressed or maybe undernourished, it means your system actually struggles to repair itself overnight instead of rebuilding.
Exactly right. And that's where many men feel stuck. They recognize something's changing, but they're not sure how to, effectively push back. So they might grab for those quick fixes. You see them online, pills, supplements, maybe even thinking about testosterone shots, which might not be right for them or carry risks. Or, sadly, some just sort of resign themselves to it. But the surprising reality, and science backs this up, is that what you consume before bed can fundamentally change your nightly recovery. Things like optimal hydration, good circulation, balanced hormone production, they're all heavily influenced by what happens in those pre-sleep hours.
So it's not just that our bodies are changing with age, it's that often we're not giving them the specific tools they need to fight back, to actually rebuild themselves while we sleep. That feeling, that weaker morning, maybe it isn't just a sign of age after all. Maybe it's more like a message from your body saying, hey, help me restore myself here.
That's a great way to put it. It's a call for help. And the good news, the really good news, is that you absolutely can help it.
Okay, this next bit feels crucial, and it's something maybe we don't think about enough in our busy lives. Can you explain why sleep itself is just so powerful?
Yeah.
And how is it directly linked to waking up with that morning vitality we're all after?
Absolutely. Sleep. Well, this isn't just downtime. It's your body's most potent repair system. Period. It's when crucial things happen. Testosterone is produced, blood vessels get a chance to recover, muscles regenerate. Your brain literally clears out the mental fog from the day. It's essential, not optional. But many men unknowingly sabotage this vital process every single night. And a primary culprit, one that's often overlooked, particularly as we age, is dehydration. Simple dehydration. See, as we get older, our natural sense of thirst actually diminishes, and our body's ability to conserve water weakens a bit too. So what does that mean? It means by the time you feel thirsty, you're probably already behind the curve. And going to bed even mildly dehydrated, well, it literally thickens your blood, makes your heart work harder, it slows down circulation, and it deprives vital organs, your brain, your muscles, yes, even your sexual organs, of the oxygen and nutrients they need to repair and function optimally. So instead of waking up restored, you wake up feeling drained. I remember one patient, Robert, 71 years old. His mornings felt like a constant battle. Turned out he was drinking almost nothing before bed, often maybe a glass of wine. Chronically dehydrated. We simply added a glass of room temperature water with just a pinch of sea salt about an hour before bed. Within 2 weeks, he said, the morning struggle just vanished. It shows how small changes can yield huge results, and the sea salt, not table salt, is key. It provides minerals like magnesium and potassium that actually help the water penetrate your cells for deeper, more effective hydration.
Wow. So it's a really small, manageable change then. Just, what, 8 to 10 ounces of water, room temperature, with that little pinch of sea salt. And the timing, about 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to sleep. How does that seemingly small amount make such a big difference?
Because this basic hydration, this foundational step, it sets the stage for all the cellular recovery that needs to happen overnight. Without it, your blood vessels tend to constrict, hormones struggle to circulate effectively, and your body simply can't perform its critical nightly repair jobs properly. But with proper hydration, your entire system runs more like a well-oiled machine. It can efficiently deliver oxygen and nutrients exactly where they're needed most for rebuilding.
I like the analogy of thinking about it like a garden. You could have the richest soil, the best seeds, but if the water hose is only trickling, nothing's really going to flourish, is it? But when that water flows freely, everything just comes back to life. So if you've been waking up feeling stiff or sluggish or just unmotivated, it might not just be old age creeping in. It could literally be your body fighting an uphill battle because it's dehydrated.
Yes.
And the fix is right there in your kitchen.
Precisely. It's that fundamental.
Okay, so once we've got that foundation of hydration sorted, what's the next layer? What can we add to really supercharge our system, especially for that morning vitality?
Right, now we layer on top of that. And that's where something like beetroot juice comes in. Now, I know for a lot of guys, the immediate thought might be, those pickled beets from the jar. Not exactly appealing first thing.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Understandable. But we're talking about the juice here. This humble red root vegetable is actually one of the most powerful natural tools we have for restoring circulation, performance, and stamina, especially in men over 60. See, beets are packed with something called dietary nitrates, and your body cleverly converts these nitrates into nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide, I've heard of that. What exactly does it do?
Think of it like a master switch for your blood vessels. It tells them to relax, to widen. It effectively uncrimps the hose, as you might say. This dramatically improves blood flow, circulation, not just to one area, but throughout your entire body, your brain, your heart, your muscles, everywhere. Now, think about how mornings sometimes feel. Heavy, stiff, sluggish. Maybe workouts seem harder than they used to. Intimacy may be less spontaneous or easy. A lot of that, a surprising amount, can be chalked up to suboptimal blood flow, poor circulation. But when your circulation is strong, you feel lighter, sharper, more powerful. It makes a huge difference. I worked with a patient, Victor, 65 years old, avid runner. His complaint was his legs just felt heavy all the time, and recovery took forever. We had him add just 5 to 7 ounces of beetroot juice about an hour before bed. That was the only change. Within a week, he came back saying it felt like someone flipped a switch. His endurance improved, his legs felt lighter, he just felt more vital overall. And science backs this up too. There was a study, University of Exeter, I believe, looking at older adults. They found that daily beetroot juice consumption led to better muscle efficiency. They needed less oxygen during activity, and this happened quickly, in under a week.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And for guys who are hesitant about the taste, are there options?
Absolutely. You don't have to force down something you dislike. Cold-pressed beet juice often tastes much better, less earthy than, say, boiled beets. Or there are excellent beetroot powders available now. You just mix a scoop into water or your hydration drink. Very convenient. The key here really is consistency. It's more important than drinking huge amounts. Just that regular intake makes the difference.
Got it. So consistency over quantity.
Exactly. Because fundamentally, blood flow is life. It fuels everything. Your brain needs it, your heart, your muscles, even your reproductive health depends on it. Without optimal flow, every system kind of struggles. But with it, every system can thrive. So beetroot juice becomes this simple, natural, very effective step for men over 60 looking to reclaim those youthful feeling mornings.
Okay, so we've covered hydration, setting the stage, and beetroot juice boosting circulation. Now, what about those crucial hormones and getting that deep, truly restorative sleep? That seems like another big piece of the puzzle.
It absolutely is. And this brings us to another perhaps surprising recommendation: tart cherry juice. Again, patients are often expecting me to pull out a prescription pad, but frequently, this natural approach works wonders. Tart cherries possess this unique blend. Think of it as nature's secret weapon for sleep and hormonal balance. They contain natural melatonin, the sleep hormone, which helps signal to your body it's time to wind down. But it's more than just melatonin. They have phytonutrients that seem to help recalibrate those circadian rhythms. After 60, many men find their natural sleep rhythm gets disrupted. This leads to restless nights, difficulty staying asleep, and crucially, a lack of that deep restorative sleep stage. And that lack of deep sleep directly impacts testosterone production, muscle recovery, and even mental clarity the next day. Tart cherry juice can gently help restore that natural rhythm. It often aids in falling asleep faster and, importantly, staying asleep longer.
So it's not like a heavy sedative, more like tuning the body's own clock.
Yeah, precisely. It's a gentler, more integrated approach compared to many synthetic sleep aids, which can leave you feeling groggy. But there's more. Tart cherry juice also seems to help lower cortisol. That's the stress hormone. Think of cortisol as a thief in the night when levels are too high. High cortisol actively blocks testosterone production. It keeps your mind racing when you want to sleep. It literally robs you of energy. I've had patients who felt restless, mentally wired at bedtime tell me they felt significantly calmer after consistently having a small glass of tart cherry juice. They just drifted into sleep more easily. And that lowered stress, that better sleep, it didn't just improve their rest. Many reported it helped reignite their desire, their focus, their overall drive during the day.
And I think you mentioned inflammation, too.
Yes, a third benefit. Tart cherries are packed with powerful antioxidants. These help reduce inflammation throughout the body. So think about those common complaints: joint pain, morning stiffness. Reducing inflammation can mean waking up feeling looser with more freedom of movement. Imagine starting your day with less stiffness. I recall Jeremy, 72 years old. He described feeling like his engine just wouldn't start in the mornings, just sluggish, stiff, mentally foggy. I suggested 4 to 6 ounces of tart cherry juice, again, about an hour before bed. After about 3 weeks, he came back beaming, said it was like someone turned the lights back on. His sleep was deeper, his mind felt sharper, even his joints felt looser. He felt, in his words, livelier, more engaged, more himself again.
That's fantastic. And again, it underlines the point. This isn't about some magic bullet or unrealistic promises. It's about working with your body's natural systems, using things that are natural, generally safe, and proven to be effective for many.
Exactly. Just that small amount, 4 to 6 ounces, consistently before bed, can make a really noticeable difference in how you sleep, how you feel, and ultimately, how you perform when morning rolls around.
Okay, this is all building a really strong picture. Hydration, circulation, hormones, sleep. But even with all that, you hear from men over 60 who say they still wake up tired, even after what feels like a full night's sleep. You mentioned there's a hidden culprit here, a missing mineral that a huge percentage, nearly 70% of older men, might be deficient in. What is that, and why is it so vital?
Yes, this is a big one. The quiet deficiency I see impacting so many men in this age group is magnesium. Men come into my office, they complain about restless nights, maybe low energy that persists all day, muscle cramps, especially leg cramps at night, sometimes difficulty focusing. They often attribute it to stress or just getting older. But frequently, the missing link is magnesium. Statistics suggest nearly 70% of men over 60 aren't getting enough. And its effects ripple through the entire body because magnesium is a cofactor. It's involved in over 300 essential biochemical reactions. It's incredibly important.
300. Wow. So what are some of the key things it does?
Well, tying back to our earlier points, it actually helps relax blood vessels. So it supports healthy circulation, working synergistically with something like beetroot. It plays a absolutely central role in energy production at the cellular level. So if you don't have enough, you're quite literally going to feel drained, regardless of sleep. It helps calm the nervous system, which is crucial for achieving that deep restorative sleep we talked about. Less restlessness, less waking up. And perhaps most critically for men's vitality, magnesium is directly connected to healthy testosterone production and utilization.
So low magnesium could actually be holding back testosterone levels.
It absolutely can. Without adequate magnesium, your body simply cannot maintain the testosterone levels needed to support strength, stamina, mood, and performance optimally. I remember Alan, 68 years old. He told me he couldn't recall the last time he felt truly rested upon waking, plagued by leg cramps, a mind that wouldn't shut off at night. He'd tried various sleep aids, but they just left him feeling groggy and out of it the next day. We checked his levels, sure enough, low magnesium. I suggested a specific form, magnesium glycinate, around 300 milligrams, taken about 30 minutes before bed. It's generally well absorbed and easy on the stomach. A month later, the difference was remarkable. His sleep quality improved dramatically, the cramps stopped, he felt clearer in the mornings, and even reported his workouts felt better, and research consistently supports this. Studies show higher magnesium levels correlate strongly with better sleep quality, lower blood pressure, and improved testosterone status in older adults. It just allows your body to operate as it's designed to.
It really feels like such an oversight, doesn't it? That so many men might be overlooking this simple, fundamental mineral, chasing complicated solutions when the answer could be as straightforward as replenishing something the body has quietly lost over time. And there are options, right? You mentioned magnesium glycinate. Are there others?
Yes, magnesium citrate can be good too. Sometimes people take it dissolved in warm water or tea. Glycinate is often preferred for sleep benefits due to the glycine component, which also has calming properties. The key is finding a form that works for you and being consistent.
So the takeaway is magnesium isn't just a nice to have.
Not at all. For men over 60, it's practically a necessity for optimal function. Correcting a deficiency, which is surprisingly common, can genuinely mean the difference between feeling decades older than you are or waking up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day.
Okay, this is the final piece, but it sounds just as crucial. Even if you've got the hydration right, the circulation boosted, hormones balanced, sleep improved, and minerals topped up, your body still needs the actual raw materials for that nighttime repair work, right?
Exactly. This is the final, crucial step that's so often overlooked. The fundamental truth is your body never really stops working. Even when you're sound asleep, it's busy rebuilding. Muscles, tissues, hormones, they're all undergoing repair and regeneration cycles throughout the night. But, and here's the catch, most men over 60 go to bed without providing the necessary building blocks for that critical work.
It's like trying to build a house, maybe repair the walls overnight, but you haven't delivered any bricks or lumber to the construction site. Doesn't matter how good the crew is, right? If the materials aren't there, the structure just won't get built or fixed.
That's a perfect analogy. If you fall asleep without the right nutritional foundation, your body simply struggles to repair itself effectively. You end up breaking down more than you build up, and you wake up feeling weaker, not stronger. And that's precisely why adding a source of slow-digesting protein before bed can be such a powerful tool for men in this age group. We're often talking about casein protein or collagen peptides here. I think of Tom, 70 years old. He was active, he exercised, but he was frustrated because he saw his muscles shrinking, his strength slipping away. This is common. After 60, muscle protein synthesis naturally slows down while breakdown can increase. This leads to sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, which really impacts balance, metabolism, overall independence. So for Tom, I recommended he add just 1 scoop of casein protein mixed with water about an hour before bed. Casein is brilliant because it digests very slowly. It releases amino acids, those building blocks, steadily over maybe 7 or 8 hours, right through the night, precisely when his body needed them most for repair. 2 months later, he reported his strength was noticeably returning, his workouts felt better, he recovered faster, and interestingly, he even said his sleep felt deeper.
And collagen is another option. How does that differ?
Collagen peptides are another excellent choice. While casein is primarily focused on muscle protein synthesis, collagen provides specific amino acids that are crucial for supporting not just muscle repair, but also the health of joints, ligaments, tendons, even skin. So it can help with that morning stiffness and those joint aches too. Many guys find collagen easy to digest, often just stirred into a warm drink before bed. It dissolves easily. The underlying principle is the same though. Your body needs these building blocks overnight. And studies confirm this research shows that pre-sleep protein intake helps preserve lean muscle mass and physical function in older adults.
And just to clarify, we're not talking about trying to become some kind of bodybuilder here.
Not at all. This is about maintaining functional strength, the strength you need for everyday life. Carrying groceries, playing with grandkids, getting up from a chair easily, just feeling confident and capable in your own body.
Right. Maintaining independence and quality of life.
Exactly. And consistency, again, is everything. 1 scoop of protein isn't going to magically transform you overnight. But making it part of your nightly ritual over weeks and months, the difference in how your mornings feel stronger, less achy, more resilient, it becomes really undeniable.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, and it all sounds incredibly promising. But men over 60, they've often tried a lot of things, maybe gotten discouraged. So let's bring it all together. What does this mean practically? How do you put these habits into practice safely and effectively without getting overwhelmed?
That's a really important point. These habits are powerful, but it's crucial to remember they're not necessarily one size fits all. You absolutely have to respect your own body and understand your individual health situation. First off, let's talk about that crucial timing again. Aim to finish your last drink, whether it's the water with salt, the beet juice, the cherry juice, or the protein shake, about 60 to 90 minutes before you actually plan to go to bed.
And why is that timing so specific?
Two main reasons. First, as we age, the bladder often becomes a bit more sensitive. Drinking too close to bedtime increases the chances you'll be waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. for a bathroom trip. And that interruption, it pulls you out of those deep restorative sleep cycles. That's precisely when the magic happens. Testosterone production peaks, cellular repair is in full swing. Interrupting that repeatedly undermines the whole process. So that 60 to 90-minute window generally allows your body enough time to absorb the fluids and begin processing them, reducing the likelihood of those nighttime wake-up calls.
Makes sense. Protect the sleep cycles.
Exactly. Second, there are some important medical considerations to be aware of. These are natural substances, but they can still interact with certain conditions or medications. For instance, beetroot juice. Because it's so effective at relaxing blood vessels, it can lower blood pressure. If you're already on blood pressure medication or taking nitrates for a heart condition, adding beet juice could potentially lower your pressure too much. That could be unsafe. Always talk to your doctor first.
Okay, good caution. What about the others?
Tart cherry juice. It's fantastic, but it does contain natural sugars. So if you're managing diabetes, you need to be mindful of that and factor it into your daily carbohydrate intake. And magnesium. While generally very safe, it can potentially interact with certain medications like blood thinners or some diuretics. Again, a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist is essential before starting, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are on multiple medications. The key message here is, the safest path is always the one you walk with your healthcare provider, informed and involved. Don't just assume natural means risk-free for everyone.
That's really responsible advice. Be smart about it. Talk to your doctor.
Absolutely. And finally, I have to reiterate consistency. Don't try this for 2 or 3 nights and give up if you don't feel like Superman immediately. Remember Jeremy, the 72-year-old I mentioned. He started slow, just with the tart cherry juice and magnesium, felt a noticeable improvement within weeks, which encouraged him. Then, after a couple of months feeling better, he layered in the beet juice and the small casein shake. That's when he experienced that truly transformative shift in his energy and vitality. It's about building sustainable habits. This isn't a quick fix. It's an investment in your long-term well-being.
That's a great way to put it. Don't underestimate the profound power of these seemingly small, consistent changes. It feels like so many people are looking for the huge, maybe intimidating solution.
Yeah.
When ordinary guys, men just like you listening, can potentially regain significant strength and vitality just by consistently adding one glass of the right combination of things before bed, it really boils down to consistency, doesn't it? Patience and just respecting your body's natural needs.
It truly does. So, gentlemen, as we kind of wrap this up, just take a moment to reflect on what we've covered here today. We've talked about those common struggles men face after 60, that quiet decline in testosterone, those mornings feeling heavier than they used to. We've really dug into the vital role of sleep and basic hydration. We've uncovered the power of beetroot juice for circulation, tart cherry juice for hormones and deeper sleep, the foundational strength that comes from adequate magnesium, the critical rebuilding support from slow digesting protein, and, of course, the importance of timing and those medical cautions to make sure these habits work with your body, not against it. You know, I've genuinely seen men walk into my office convinced their best days were long gone, believing that feeling weaker was just their new reality, only to realize, sometimes astonishingly quickly, that with these kinds of small, intentional changes, their mornings could feel powerful again. Their energy could return. It's not about chasing some illusion of youth. It's about actively choosing vitality, choosing confidence, choosing strength in the years you have right now and the years ahead. I've seen it happen time and time again in men just like you. And I truly believe it can happen for you too.
That's a hopeful and empowering message to end on. So tonight, maybe when you find yourself standing in your kitchen before bed, think about pouring that glass. And remember this, you're not just preparing for sleep. You're making an investment in the man you're going to be when you wake up tomorrow morning. And if you consistently give your body the right fuel, the right support, well, it has an amazing capacity to reward you, perhaps in ways you might have thought were gone for good. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. If this conversation has been helpful or sparked some ideas for you, please do give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel. We'll have more valuable health insights designed especially for men over 60 coming your way.